Hello, glad you're back. Glad I'm back. Good to have you on the Dr. Hew Show with carburation education. And of course, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you like the show, please like us or share our posts so that we can help as many people as possible to get answers to their questions. And of course, what we do here at US Carb is allowing gasoline engines to run on propane and natural gas as well. And so that goes for anything. That goes for any 4-cycle gasoline engine. Another thing we always mention is if you're interested in becoming a dealer, please send us an email at, what is that? I got to write that down. What is it, info or, what is it, Brian? Brian.
Yeah, the best way to do it is support at uscarb.com.
Support.
Or info at uscarb.
I like info. How come we don't have dealer at US Carb? Okay.
We do have that as well. I think it's dealers.
Dealers. All right, just do info at uscarb.com for now to be safe. Next time we'll give you the true one so it doesn't bounce back. And we have brochures we can send you to pass out to potential customers. You can put your sticker on there and tell them what you do. All right. Let's see. Oh, he don't have it on here, but let's go to our. I like to start the show out with, because we're still finishing up this. All month we're giving away an engine meter every show. If you can give me a tool that works even when you're not using it. So we'll send you a free engine tachometer. And we've had some good ones so far. If you haven't seen the show and don't know, we've had a clock, we've had a compass, we've had a pot sign, we had a level, we've had a ruler, and we've had a thermometer. So if you're thinking of any of those, sorry, been done. Sorry, been here not too long. All right, so took care of that. So remember, the whole premise of the show is we're here to take your questions. If you have any questions about hookup, anything else related to changing, or I still say we're trying to get away from conversion kit. The Snorkel is not a conversion. It's an adaptation that allows it to be a hybrid machine. So yeah, again, we're here to take your questions, and we'll address it here on the show. If for some reason you can't get through, the emails are all plugged up from so many people sending in questions that we will either address it on the next show, but we'll answer your question, but we'll do it. We do it as our customer mail on the next show. All right, so please do that. Today, I want to start the program out today about oil. We had someone call, had 3 generators, three units running off our system, and was concerned because 2 of the machines, the oil turned black, and what else? Or is that just it?
He said he thinks it was using oil.
Seemed like it was using oil and it turned black. Okay. Now Sean, our senior tech, he tells the gentleman, well, have you seen the one we have in the showroom that we put on the show that has 6,700 hours on it? So that oil is always clean. And his response was, well, mine has I have one with over 12,000 hours, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Sean, had over 12,000 hours, and it's clean. I mean, it doesn't turn black, right? 12,000 hours. I didn't do the math on that. What was it? 12 at 70 miles an hour. That's 840,000 miles. If that was a car, you could basically say it's traveled. Whew, that's amazing. So anyway, that tells you something. There's something different here. So my question to someone like that would be, are you using different motor oils? And boy, if you start thinking about motor oil, I'll tell you, if you want to know about motor oil, the best place I found was, I don't know if we're allowed to yeah, we can mention it. Wikipedia. It's all right to mention that, right? We have no 7-second delay or bleeper, so.
Sorry, Dr. Hew. It's hard to manage all the public's interest and the show and pay attention to you as well.
People around here used to just tuning me out. That's the problem. Okay. But there's one section under engine oil. Just you can type in engine oil viscosity. I think will get you to the right page. And then there's also a section there about maintenance. And it really helps you to understand viscosities. What I believe is happening with the two black motors, the oil turning black, is I believe it's going to be the motor oil. See, alternative fuel cannot foul a plug. It cannot dirty the oil. It doesn't happen. So if there's any blackness in there, it's from either leftover deposits in the combustion chamber from the oil additives. And so the main point I wanted to make about that when you read it is make sure to just focus in on ashless motor oil. And after I heard this question, it kind of took me back. We used to have our own motor oil, U.S. carb oil, and thought, we need to get back to that because it was a low ash motor oil. And actually, we designed our own special oil, and I did it by accident, sort of. I purchased a secondhand Ford Explorer that had a bearing, upper bearing that would squeal. Sound like a belt, whee! So I went to change the belt, and it was like, man, it's not fixing the problem. Is it a idler or what? Then I got to listening, and I noticed it was off towards the back of the motor. It's like, oh no. And being secondhand, you think, oh, well, I got a lemon. Well, I went through various tests using some logical procedures, and nothing worked. And then one time I did something, and I put it in the crankcase, and when I fired up the engine, it went, yip, just like that, yip, almost as if it said, yep. You got it, and it never came back. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it did come back. Oh, I'm blowing my own story. All right, so did like 2 other oil changes. After the 3rd oil change, it came back because I thought I had solved the problem. That's when I laid in bed going, man, what could that be? It worked for it was like 9,000, 10,000 miles. Then it dawned on me, and I retraced my steps, did some formulating, made the U.S. carb oil, poured it in, and guess what? Yep. Oh man, it was so awesome. It never came back after that. So yes, I was right before. It never came back. But after the first never came back, it never came back. But anyway, check viscosity, check low ash, and some oils have additives and detergents, and if you change oils, and that's a big argument. Should you stick with the same oil? Some will tell you, it doesn't matter, you can change oils. I have found that if you switch brands of oils, they have different detergents and additives. And one oil, its detergents, its cleansers, sees the other oil's deposits that are there to lubricate as additives. They'll see those as like foreign bodies and clean them off, and that can gum things up too. So those would be my main concerns right there. So start with that, see how that works for you. And while we're on oil, I'll take a few more seconds to say a lot of people will not change their oil because they keep looking at it, oh, it looks so clean. But please, it only takes a quart and a half of oil. It's the lifeblood of the machine. And you got to remember, oil comes from the same, oil tanker. It comes from crude. They get the light ends out of it to increase the flash point so it doesn't ignite. You don't want your oil catching fire in your motor because that's not a good thing. So that's something to be concerned about too. So my favorite question is, did I think I answered that? I think I answered that. All right. Let's check our customer mail. Let's see what we have here. See customer mail page. Okay. Trusty clipboard. All right. We're on to customer mail page. All right. Is this going to be on the screen? Question 1?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not on the screen anymore? So do I read it? Okay. I thought they might want to. What? Hold on to what a second. Oh, okay. I recently installed a tri-fuel conversion kit on my Coleman Max 5000 ER. The engine runs great once running. The problem is that it will not start without using starter fluid. I have gone over the setup and adjustment procedures several times with no luck. If you have any additional wisdom to share on this issue, that would be great. My main question is, the primer button on these regulators is starter fluid. I mean, this has 2 functions. One, gives you a shot of juice to fire it up. Now, if this won't do it, but starter fluid will, I would venture to say you need to tighten up the plug gap. There may not be enough to ignite the propane, but once it's running, it will, because now it's creating better spark. Another thing could be back to the oil viscosity. If your oil's too thick, some people are they're dogmatic about straight weight motor oil. And that's another thing, if you'll check into it, you'll find that like 5W30, 0W30, if it's freezing cold out, it's going to be at the zero weight viscosity. So it's going to flow really easy. But you don't want it to be that way the whole time it's running. So once it starts warming up, the viscosity changes, gets thicker, because you don't want to run a real thin oil. And it's, like I said, it's pages. And the thing had like nearly 100 references to all these, really smart dudes that know what they're talking about when it comes to oil. Like I said, I don't claim to know everything about oil, but I know certain basics. And so, if you're using a straight weight, it's just not good. 5W30 at least. If you can go 0W and you're up north, Michigan, Wisconsin, any of those places, do that. So yeah, and you may be wondering, what's the second purpose of the primer button? If your machine isn't acting right, you can press that to see if it's going to give it more fuel, if that's going to help it accelerate, then it's wanting more fuel. But if you press it and it decelerates, then it already has too much to begin with. So it is kind of a troubleshooter and a starter fluid button. There you go. All right, that's number 1. Let's go to question 2. Do you have a kit for my generator and or pressure washer and or other equipment? Yes. All right.
You read it again.
Well, it wasn't up there?
Yeah, I put the wrong one up.
Again, we have an opening for a producer. Do you have... The pay is just... we compliment him all the time. Do you have a kit for my generator and or pressure washer and or other equipment? And I would say other equipment might be a wood splitter, lawnmower, riding mower. The answer would be yes. 4-cycle gasoline, we cover everything. And so if it's 4-cycle gasoline, we will have a kit almost for everything. I'd say, man, I'd like to know what our numbers are. We cover just about everything. I don't know of anything we can't. I mean, we even have customers send us carburetors. So, but anyway, and that brings up a good point. Our systems are not just for generators; they're for pressure washers and wood splitters. And by purchasing an additional snorkel, you can move your engine regulator from unit to unit to unit, because the same engine regulator, you can put on a 1,000 watt Honda or Yamaha with a 2-horse motor, or a 35 horse, generator, 27 horse mower engine, same engine regulator. So there you go. So yes, glad we answered that one. Did we answer that one? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, question 3. Oh, I like this one. Is it on the board yet? On this? All right. He promises to get me a monitor. Huh? He promises to get me a feedback monitor, but I haven't seen it yet. All right, now it's good. My carburetor is gunked up. Can I still convert to alternative fuels? Absolutely. And some of these things that are supposed to help your gasoline last longer, I don't want to get in trouble. I would never use them. So anyway, as a matter of fact, we were sending out one today for a customer, and Sean's going to bring it to the camera. This customer had the exact issue. His carburetor's gunked up, and he sent it to us. And you can show one at a time. You can show the float bowl.
Okay.
How close you want it, Brian? Tell him what to do. Towards Brian. Don't look at that. Look at him. He'll tell you.
There you go.
All right. Is it good? You can see it's skunked up in there. All right. So now, oh, there we go. Yeah, you see it's skunked up in there. All right. Now remember that spot with your hand. Now we're going to move the carburetor over there. You can see it was gunked up too. But with the, now that's our slip tube kit. And the customer just decided to go dedicated. However, the same would work. Here, let me have that. Thank you. Even if it's gunked up completely, you don't even have to take it apart. You can just add a snorkel and it'll work. So yeah, you can either go one of 2 routes. You can dedicate it or add the snorkel. But either way, the only thing the snorkel relies on for operation is the venturi down the middle. See it? That's all it's concerned with. It doesn't need, oh, of course, the throttle, but it doesn't need any of the other jets, ports, or other devices. So there you go. Yes, you can do that all day long. All right. That's all the questions from the mail. Yes, sir. Do you have an inbound?
Yeah, Dr. Hew, I'm going to cut in here and say that the viewers are demanding, maybe, or asking about a discount code during the show, so I thought I'd defer to you.
Oh, man, we need to start putting that on the beginning. Yes. I forgot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this code works from when to when? You determine that. We got to start. I made that up last time on the fly. We never had time to really finalize it, but yes, the discount code on the show is, what did we say the percentage was?
25.
25? Man, am I generous.
You said that, man.
I know. That's susceptible to change at any moment based on, all right, so 25% during the show. Next week, we'll try really hard to have it right from the start, or maybe have it start right before the start. Like,
Yeah, I'll cut in and say that I'm making the code active right now, so give it a minute. The code will be Dr. Hew, one word.
DRHEW.
That's it.
Make it DRHEW. All right, he's making it DRHEW. DRHEW. All right, and it's active any moment, and it will last until when?
The end of the show.
End of the show. All right. And we can let it run a little bit after that, I think. So why don't we say we'll let it run till 3 o'clock. How's that? Because they'll probably get bored and bail on us anyway. So it's from 2 to 3. Maybe we'll do that every week. From 2 to 3, we'll let it just have, that's during the show time. All right. So there you go. Dr. Hew, 25%. All right.
And one more note about that, the code is now live, so you have to add a Motorsnorkel to the cart, and when you go to checkout, just type in code Dr. Hew, and you can see it on your screen there, the code, and that'll take care of it. Valid until 3 p.m.
So they can hear you, right? 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Never dawned on me. It's like 11 o'clock out west, isn't it? And other times, on the way there. So, all right. I lost my script here. All right. Let's see. Again, we're waiting for your questions. Don't forget, if you want to be a dealer, you have to have a commercial establishment of some sort. Can't just be, at this point, you just can't be. We are, should I mention about the other types of dealers we might set up for? Yeah. So if you're interested too, we might be setting up to where you can do trade shows like hunting and camping shows, fishing shows. We can supply you the materials so that you could, either resell or, and again, you could provide a code like this where if they order, we will spiff you, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we do have a question coming in from Facebook here. This is from Ron. And to refresh your memory, Dr. Hew, Ron was a winner of a tachometer in prior weeks.
And you only get one. All right, Ron, good show.
He said, thanks for sending me the tachometer. He has a question about the instructions. It says, when the generator is operating under current load, turn the load block in or out to achieve the highest RPMs. My question is, how sensitive is the correct load block setting to changes in load? When I'm running my house on a generator with 2 refrigerators, a freezer, and up to 4 window air conditioners, TVs, computers, lights, etc., my load can vary from about 1 kilowatt to over 4 kilowatts. Should I try to set the load block at full power or mid-range? I'm running a 7 kilowatt Champion generator. Thanks for your help. Ron from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
All right, Ron. Always set it to the leanest under full load, or as close to full load. You don't have to get nuts with it, but if you're running these items, set it towards the lean side. If you're tacking at 3610 and it starts to drop, again, you don't have to be militant about it. Just keep it up near that area towards the leanest side, because it'll flatten out for a period, or it'll stay at 3610, and then it'll start to drop by over-richening it. So just try to stay towards the lean side. I have found that it always seems perfect if you, under no load, you set it towards the rich side. Because then under load, it seems to hit that sweet spot. So you can try that too, but it's not super critical as long as you're nearest the lean side if possible. It's going to run cooler, cleaner, more efficient, which is always good to save fuel. And does that cover? I mean, that was a long question. So, yeah. Is it still Ron?
There's another question.
Oh.
Okay, so this question, second question, has come in by Facebook. This is from Tracy, and Tracy is asking, can I use both gas, I'm assuming gasoline, but maybe he means natural gas. Can I use both gas and propane on the same generator?
Absolutely. That's the whole point of the snorkel. So even if it's gas, natural gas, either gas or propane, it's a tri fuel. So yes, you can definitely do that. You don't have to remove it. The only consideration is on gasoline. If you have a velocity choke, you have to override that because it's not powerful enough to squash the probe on the snorkel. But that's no big deal. There's all kinds of ways of doing that real simply. But yes, to answer your question, short and simple, Tracy, yes, you can just add the snorkel and it'll run propane, natural gas, or gasoline.
Okay, similar question is coming in from Steve. Steve says he just logged on, but is this a kit to convert gasoline to propane or butane? Maybe you could just clarify, since Steve just got on, what Motorsnorkel offers.
All right. Yes, this is a system to, all you do is add this thin little gasket to the front of your carburetor, and when you do, your carburetor now is able to function off of propane, natural gas, or gasoline. Of course, you turn one off, the other on. Absolutely, all day long, that's what we do. We have them for, even for the 2 barrels. We've been doing a lot of 2-barrel systems where it goes right in, see that? So that's what we're all about. It's so easy. I mean, there are some machines, other than mounting the engine regulator, there are some machines that literally take 2 to 3 minutes to add the snorkel, because you're removing a couple 6mm nuts, maybe a lower one, dropping the air filter assembly, putting the snorkel on, putting the filter back. Now the engine is ready to run on alternative fuel. It just needs an engine regulator, which can be mounted all kinds of different ways. Has mounting lugs at the bottom. There's mounting lugs on the sides. So absolutely. And of course, generator, wood splitter, pressure washer. You can use the same engine regulator, because that's the most expensive part of the system. But you can use that same engine regulator on all your gasoline equipment, and just add a snorkel to the other machines. Unless, I mean, you could move the snorkel if they're the same type of engine on 2 different machines, but if not, then you simply remove the, let's say this is the hose you had hooked to it, you remove the hose, put a cap on it, and so we move from one machine to another. Absolutely. So thanks for your questions, Steve, Tracy, and Ron. Appreciate that. Are we drying up? We're gonna wrap it up. All right. Well, we get off early today. All right. Remember, the code's good till 3. If you try to give out the code to somebody who didn't watch the show, we might ask them a question like, "What did Dr. Hew say about this?" That'd be funny. Let's see. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But people can't say that, so. All right, so again, just a reminder, please like us. If you want to be a dealer, let us know, send us an email. I guess we're dwindling down on people who can figure out what tools work even when you're not using it. Yes, sir.
I'm going to jump in, Doc, and just say that also, if you would like to be a guest on the show, we'd like to hear from you. If you have experience in using Motorsnorkel or working with alternative fuels for small engines in general, we'd love to chat. We'd love to have you appear on the show via Skype, much like I'm doing right now, although I'm actually here in person. But you could show up on a little box and you know, talk to Dr. Hew. So we'd like to solicit that from you. And now I'm going to go away.
He's an ab libber. I love it. All right. It was fun. Glad you could be here. Hope you can come back. I had something else to say, but I forgot now. But remember, you can always email us at info@uscarb.com, chat with us, any of our websites. You can call us on the phone, 800-553-5608. I guess it's Dr. Hew saying, see you next time, Tuesday, Thursday at 2 with Dr. Hew.